Smash that like button, gang. We'll start in about 10 minutes. Smash that like button. Sub to the channel. Give me about 10 minutes.
Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this?
Pump it up while your feet are stumping and the jam is bumping. Look
And
at the crowd jumping. Pump it up a little more. Get the party going on the dance floor.
Please,
'Cause that's where the
give it
party's
up.
at, and you find out
Yo.
if you do that. A place to stay.
Get your booty on the foot tonight. Make my day. 3 p.m. trade? Yeah, we took this for power hour in the private community. I left it running and top one closed it. I left 10% runner and top one closed it when market closed. Yeah, we closed for the signals caught 168. Place to stay, get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Let's fill up. Let's fill up in here.
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping. And the jam is bumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up.
This here's that. That ice cold Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Put up hook girls. Masterpiece. Living it up in the city. Gotta kiss myself. So pretty. And I'm fine, man. I'm too hot. What? Drop down, fuck, oh, give it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back there.
Hey, gang, give me about 10 minutes. My daughter just called me. I gotta go down the block, pick her up. Doesn't walk. Give me about 7, 8 minutes. Back. Big setups, power hour often? Yeah, quite a bit. So early tonight, how come? I had time. Like, I was gonna start at 6, but then I had time, and then schedule fills up because of like, let's do the volleyball and then practice and then take a trip to the casino, and kids wanted to gamble. No 6 start, but 7. And again, kind of just been rallying down here. Browning. Coming down, not much structure just yet since market open. Well, we do have a little bit of structure here on the 15, very similar to the structure here. Let's see what range we got here. We do have some range here. Yeah. You can see if anyone's there, but I don't think they're coming. It's a support there. I think if we were to re-break some highs here, a break of the lows here is not bad. The 15 structure. 1 hour re-breaking the lows. There's a lick handle here that we can fill to the left. Actually, not too bad. Let's see if we can break some highs here. Oh, high rebroken, I think, on the current 15. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to set a sell stop here. We see if we can re-break the low of this previous candle. I'm sorry. Yeah, low of previous 15. You got a sell replay happen here. Push back up. Okay, let's set this. 20. Stop, sell, stop. We created some structure here on the 15. We did close below that support. And we have not closed back up above. Oh shit, my live account. Limit buy. So broke the lows there. Oh, broke all the lows. Yeah, broke the low lows. Created support. Clean range on the 1 hour to come down here. Break of the lows. room to go. So we did everything. It's actually the same exact position that I took at the power hour. Yeah, if it comes up, it comes up. But we broke all these lows. We should be slamming down here to around 80 areas. That's about 75 pips here. Full TP be the low of this range here. This candle, we're bouncing off a resistance area, making lower highs, lower lows. Oh, I see what happened. We've tapped into the first possible 4-hour area right here, but the range really goes down to here. If you see this 4-hour, the range comes down here. 4378 areas. Put this to 80 flat. See. Broke the previous candle low. Once we re-break that low, one of them stops to be here. Low's rebroken. We should be able to push down here. Not move my stop yet. Want to break the low. I see a little push away from this area. Okay, close below here. Wick first. All right, that low is broken. I'm gonna go break even here, and hopefully this thing can push down here. I'm up about 15 pips, but that's not the point. We re-broke the low multiple times. I just don't want this thing push back up in range off of 4-hour support. Either we drop down or I'm gonna wait. Oh, I got slipped here a bit. I saw, yeah, about 15, 20 pips, but I'm not gonna let this come back up here based on this 4-hour level here to the left. I want to smack it down to the next level if we can. Might not come back up there. This level is tough, and the pullback from this level can be heavy to make a steeper 4-hour top wick. That's a 4-hour level. So if we get taken out, it's all right. We saw 20 pips. We're up 100, over 160 on a day. Let this thing, no, do its thing. And it might take us out and then come up, right? I mean, and then come down. But like, it might just tap this resistance here to the left, right here. These wicks, maybe even this 15 wick, and come down. But I'm not gonna fuck with it. I wanted a straight drop immediately and not a 4-hour level in the way. So this might be the first catalyst to bring us down, but the 4-hour level is stronger than the 15-minute break of the lows that we had here, okay? So this 4-hour level can be a catalyst for reversal versus a 15-minute time frame. What's it mean when you get slipped? I didn't really get slipped. It was what, 2 pips? It's not slippage. It's just movement. Slippage is if like you have a stop at 43.85 and then price goes down and activates you at like 43.83. That's real slippage. Like I said, this could be a reaction area to bring this thing down. Oh, let me get rid of this. But I want that straight drive, not a bounce off the 4-hour level and then down. Right. So I just don't trust this level. And we gave it a chance. Free position here. Gave it a chance to ride down. We saw 21 pips and BE here. We'll add that to the BE column. We got a massive win earlier today, right? Sorry. Well, the win that we're riding here right now. Oh, there it goes, coming down. Me no like it, that 1 hour. After the 800 pip move down, I think we're just able to find the bottom here and pull back some. No, I mean, look, you created structure. You created very good structure. And usually I'd stay in here. But yesterday we saw what happened when we bumped into the 4-hour resistances or 4-hour levels, right? Look what happened, right? We bumped into them. We've tapped. We wasn't even the fill. We just tapped them and never came back there. So I don't want to bounce off these 4-hour levels to the left. 1, 2 that we just tapped and come right back. So that's that right there. That's actually the whole position. Was it? Oh, I gave a lot there. You also get that leg candle closure here on the 30. Right, so as this leg candle closes, we made that little bottom wick first. Expectation is, you can possibly fill the entire leg candle up. That might happen now, but it's already given you enough. It's given you 60. So that would have given us partial, and that leg candle closure. You're hoping this happens first, right? That bottom wick gives you your W, and you don't let it right up against you. But yeah, so the 2 positions here today. This one. And we had this one that just hit B. Power hour, same position, except it just ran. It just freaking ran. Actually, no, I'm lying. It did come back to this area for power hour when we got there, but there's no 4-hour support here. This had so much room to move down. Now we're at a 4-hour support. Look at that. It barely broke. It would have gave us our partials at 50 or whatever it was, 40 pips. But still, it came back to B. So this wasn't the trade that ran. 4-hour support. We're not wrong, right? You can't be exact and precise for every pip count, but not wrong. All right, now we wait. We're back at the 4-hour levels here. 4-hour down here, 2-hour, 1 hour, and where's our structure? The 15's created, the only structure I see here. I would not mind some buys if we're able to get a heavy push up here. If we were to see that 4-hour rejection that I was talking about and see this right up here, I would not mind to have some buy limits here at this area. Once we get that push up to bring us up heavy. That's going to be the idea here for this entry, this stop, and this TP. Let's see if we can get that push up. This sell down here had B. I get the city background for charts. Chat GPT. That's what I did. Also, live for Christ. After 800 tick move down, I think we're just, it's not really about how many pips or ticks we move down, because this, like, who's to say we found the bottom? Maybe 800 ticks is halfway. We're going to move another 800. You know what I mean? Maybe we move another 4,000. Can't keep thinking, oh, we're going to see a pullback, a pullback, pullback. You are better off having your bias continue with this bearish direction, no matter what kind of support and resistance you're at, versus planning for a reversal. Roughly at a 3-to-1 ratio, okay, which makes it 75% of the time you'll get a continuation versus a reversal. So you're better off even at a higher time of support, even after a 100 pip drop, you're still bearish versus a reversal to come up. Yeah, you want it to come up, you want to see it, but you're going to marry that and you're going to be at a 25% win rate or a 25% success rate, betting on the off chance. Yeah, there's our position. If we're not at a 4-hour support, we're holding this. I keep stops above that previous candle, and we don't get out unless it hits stop there, which I can't do it the levels that we're at. But that was partials right here, 80. Slow. Right, and if it's very bullish and you're going to get that reversal up, I mean, chances of you know, I know it feels like that every time you go and get in a trade, it goes against you right from that point. But the chances of it now, the entire market reversing right as soon as you got in on that sell, with like, it's, yeah, you'll get caught once in a while, but you can't take that as the likely thing to happen. And, you know, until then, it sells. And the thing is, if you're coming down here and you're going to create a low, and we know gold creates structure, right? And a structure means it's going to create a support or resistance. It's going to create a range. It's going to fill the range. What does that mean? It means it's going to create that low. Once it creates a resistance, right? This low is a support. Once it creates a resistance, it's going to retest the low. So look what happens, right? Even if this was the bottom and you start pulling up, you're going to see a retest. So you needed this retest before the market decides to do that. Very seldom do you not get a retest of the highs or the lows. And you know when that happens? When this low matches a higher time frame low down here, somewhere back there, and then that's your retest. Boom, this is the higher time frame retest, and then you just head up. So that's why you pay attention to the higher time frame and those higher time frame levels, right? Because this was a possibility to head up here. You've just tested the higher time frame levels here that runs across, right, in a 4-hour. So as we're tapping into it, once we see a support and a bounce, I say to myself, all right, this is a type of level where you might not come back to and retest the low. So I take risk off the table, because if we get that up here, like if we had this wick and we bounced up, there's nothing there on the higher time frame that tells me we're going to bounce away from there, right? All the higher time frames down here. So I say to myself, all right, even if I'm a drawdown here, we're going to see a retest of that low. Not the case in this area. Yeah, it retested the low again here, but this is a 4-hour level. Highly likely to bounce off of there, re-break your high. More likelier than it would have been up here. Eesh. That's why this one was a massive W and this one came back to B for us. They would have both worked out, but you're opening up yourself to unnecessary risk in this area versus you're not in this area. Hey, gang, drop a like, sub to the channel for now. Files, you can. You see, it's struggling. It's a higher time frame level versus zero struggle. Higher time frame range. But in the grand scheme of things, we should be filling this leg candle. This is absolutely clean range. So once we see this level here able to break, you're likely to see something here. We're seeing it right now, actually. Look at that. The 15 actually held that level on the dot. So I'm working to here. Some structure will probably be created. AKA, we're gonna form a support, ideally. Ideally support. The next closure below 82 should drive us down. at that. That's clean. That's actually this level here. And all I did, right? All I did was just look at the leg candle and the wick from the leg candle. And it came out perfectly on the dot there. Right there. See? The wick on the leg candle. This wick is a range. On a smaller time frame. It should be filled just as quick as that wick did. So, right, we go to smaller time frame. Clean range here. Look at this. Just boom. And there's a resistance, actual closure. Right? Let's get a support form here. Let's get a bounce off resistance to break this support, close below. And guess what? We have clean range. Right now, it's a bit arbitrary because you're at a 4-hour level. Once we get closures below that level, we're going to look to get that range. Mr. Wix China might be hungry with this price at the opening. Okay. As long as your kids don't go hungry. They have no Navy. What kind of name is that? That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, so these names are really, really cool. Really cool. They have no Navy. Supreme life value. Live for Christ. Spaceman. Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting what people come up with, what they think about. Yeah, some people have really wild shit, like, I don't know, like triple dicky wiener spinner. We'll be having like wild shit. Like, how you come up with that? I was just meditating and wiener came to my head. Like, as long as it didn't come on your head. I don't know, man. See, can we see some volume for Asian? Get this 8 p.m. opening. Got 10 minutes here. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is how to love and be loved in return. Come on. That's all the weed I'm gonna get here. Okay, anything interesting happen today? No? No one got chased by like a raccoon with rabies? Nothing? What's going on with the boring lifestyle everyone's leading? I'm gonna need somebody to go like jump the barrier at a zoo or something. There's some content. Oh no, not the song. Not this song. Guy spits on my stream again, I'm gonna be pissed. By the way, if you're just joining us, we are not in a trade. This last trade hit BE. Yo-yo used to be one of my favorite toys. What's up, Jonathan? There we go. See, the 4-hour level at work, stronger than the 15's resistance. 15 structure. And listen. All right, what else? As I said, if you guys remember, hold on, let me, I don't know, do I have it drawn up? You guys remember, if we're gonna see that heavy push, look back. What do we talk about? Right, oh, I drew it up right there. So if we see that heavy push right from here, this is what we want to see, that heavy push, that bottom wick opening. There. Open, down, bottom wick. Entry will be at the bottom wick. I want to see this heavy push up. Had to close down the highway in Amarillo because some cattle got loose yesterday. Yeah, that's some country shit. Was on News Channel 10. Yeah, but what I meant by interesting was like, was anybody on News Channel 10 themselves? Like, were you on the news? I'm trying to see you guys, not the cattle. Like, if I seen one of you riding an ox and a big sign on it that says "Get the bundle." Yeah, riding an ox. You know, like Oregon Trail. Make your way west, bro. Make your way west. Who remembers Oregon Trail? The banger. Just to look forward to fucking elementary school so we could play Oregon Trail. That's some legit oxtail straight from the source. It's a W. Straight from the ox. He's hunting. Super Mario one with the gun. I'm trying to buy that. I'm trying to find it. Ride the ox into battle. Split it with the enemy later. Plaque chasing. Yes, yes. I gotta put that up somewhere. Help us get the plaque. Trying to get to 100K subs. Stream number 2148 on our journey to 100K subs. Yeah, I can't believe there's a couple of thousand live streams. There's only 300 days in a year. 365 if you're really counting, but who's counting? The things that count is pips and grams, right? And ounces. Pips and ounces is all I count. Pips and pounds. Two minutes here for 8 p.m. Look at this endless little shop here. Let's get out of here. Pips and pounds sounds better, but be careful with that. Hey, Marcus Aurelius. The Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius. All right. Wow. I was just reading. Well, no, I wasn't just reading meditation. I was just reading something by Seneca, which is another great Stoic. And yeah, man. W. The Aurelius 9. I like the 9 at the end. That's a really unique touch. I've never seen anybody put a 9 at the end of the name. It's pretty cool. Okay. Marcus Aurelius. Oh man, Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Stuck in my head. The hourly closed bearish. Wick to fill. And a wick up. 30 closed bullish at support. 4-hour support, mind you. Yeah, let's see if we can get this nice push up. Asian session is open. This is volume. Key is to be continued down past this 4-hour level, or do we pull back? So this is what we were just talking about. If we can see this volume candle, right? We just drew it out. You can see this volume candle out of here. We'll look for this bottom wick to be made and then a push up. Right? 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 Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Funny, NY session was all trash. Like, what the fuck was that New York session? What is this? Like, what the fuck was this? 10:30, it decided to drop out of nowhere. No entries anywhere there. And then more trash. And the funny thing is, I was talking to Focus. I was going to have Focus on here today. But he's doing some shit. He's around my neighborhood right now. I was going to have him come through, just crib. But he's, I was talking to him yesterday. And I was like, man, when we get these heavy just ranges throughout the session, we push in off volume times. We push to close out the session. We push at lunchtime. And yeah. Hit him up later today. I was like, man, we just literally spoke about this. And I hopped on for Power Hour, close out the session, and it moved at the end of the day. And he's like, yeah, we just spoke about this. I was like, literally, bro, I was just talking to you, telling you about that. And it happened. I was like, this is crazy how I'm speaking things into existence. It just keeps happening. Where's that push? We're getting that strong push here. Let's see if we can get a closure here in 15 minutes and get a buy at support here. Oh, this bell was on the 5 here. Just a 5. Got 10 minutes here on the 15. The hourly looks like it wants to come down, but we've been pushing down heavy. But don't forget, 4-hour support, bounce. We'll be making our way back up for a steeper 4-hour top wick. Steeper daily top wick. Missed that big position today by Gray W. Yeah, it was very late in the session. Now this can play out a few ways here, right? We might find a resistance and get our top wick first. Remember I said we're gonna look for that bottom wick first here into 43.87. We might get a top wick first, at which point I will look for that top wick, bounce to 43.87, and then the rebreak of the top wick will be the position. There's 8 minutes here. There's a lot of time. It might not happen because we might be up here at 4,400 in 8 minutes. So just patience, gang, patience. That 5. Yeah, hop in there, drop a like, sub to the channel, please. Don't forget, flag chasing. Sam likes to put it. How's your day been so far? I don't know. Look at the chart. We're up 170 pips so far. It's been good in terms of trading, but it's always great, you know, like I'm always well because I choose to be. That's a choice we all get to make. And I love that. I love that we get to choose. Because, like, shit could be burning down in flames. And I'll still feel great because I get a chance to play the hero. Or, you know what I mean? Or just figure it out. Pressure, right? Pressure. I love seeing people perform under pressure. That is a great measure of a person. Right? Great measure. It's also great content. It's very interesting how people react, perform, you know, survive under pressure. But people, a lot of people can talk great game. They'll fold real quick. That push we were talking about, we just need this to hold up because we want that bottom of country here. We just get a heavy push, we're going to be looking for either a range to breakout or market to find a resistance for us to take it back down. Good that we're holding this area. The key will be how steep will that bottom wick be, how steep will this top wick be. I don't really care if we close respecting this area right here to the left. This is kind of irrelevant to me. How I see this is a support right here. This isn't exactly a resistance. It is in a way on a small time, but this is where we want to play this support, not this resistance. Because this volume push was just up. We want to scalp that retest of this high, wherever this high is going to be. Five minutes here. Because you know why people struggle under pressure? Because they think like we spoke about this yesterday. I think it's an obstacle in their way, but you have to realize the obstacle is the way. Yeah, bro, we spoke about this yesterday. Even, oh yeah, you know what this goes with? This goes with stoicism, right? Marcus Aurelius, if you read Meditations, you know what he says? The impediment to action advances action. Like I just said, if, you know, the things in your way are the way, right? Funny how we were just talking about Marcus Aurelius. The goal is not to do things in a different way that you've been doing, right? You're not supposed to do things differently. You're just supposed to do things in a way that makes you better. Sometimes it's doing the same thing, sometimes it's changing up, but whatever makes you better, that's what you got to do. Things that stand in your path are your path. Like, so why would you run away from your own path instead of greeting it with open arms and saying, like I always say, bring it on? 2.5 minutes for this 15. Running away from us here. The 5 looked incredible here. The 5 was really nice. Off that bottom wick right there. Yeah. It's okay. Okay, man. Double W's on W's. As usual, yeah, lately it's been kind of, if you notice, it's been running like the last 2 minutes. What's up, Sam? You took a dub? Like I said, this area, we're better off looking at this area as a support versus this resistance. This is the move that's likely to happen here. Just kind of ran away here. He's mowing the lawn, so you take the dub. Lock up that easy dough with Goldie. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to cut the grass on your own side. I've never mowed a lawn. Okay, top wick first. We're gonna need a support down here. A bit tough, this kind of rain. Let's see. Let's see how we come down here. Okay, so here's the stipulation for me to take these buys. Like I said, I wanted to get in off the bottom wick, off this candle. You get this volume push, a pullback, you're going to retest the high of this candle in a scalp. The issue is you're getting top wick first, so highly likely you come down here. If we're able to come down here and match these wicks right here, tap the wicks to the left of it. See the red wicks right there? We're able to tap those with this candle and then re-break highs. I will take the re-break of the high. We'll have some room to move up here. We will have about 60 pips till we get into this wick here. So what this wick down does, it attempts the 30 in the 1 hour drive down. See, we have a small bottom wick here. It attempts that drive down. Once it fails and we get this re-break of the highs, we have some clean range to correct the move that happened earlier here. But we need this to come back down. If it just continues rallying up, then guess what? We were so right about this 4 hour level here at 43.80. It's a good thing we went BE and don't move from where you're at if you don't want to mow. Mow the lawn, lawn the mow. Law them on. Nice candle. You remind me of Donkey from Shrek. That is a nice boulder. Boulder. That's a nice candle. Bought a lot. Please stay off of the grass. Wash your hands, wipe your ass. Wix 9 is the perfect stream. Gang, I should do kids content, right? I should be doing like Disney after hours. When are we getting there? When are we getting that? We kind of have it, right? It's called Cartoon Network. Or what is it called? The one with the adult cartoon. I think all cartoons, honestly, are adult cartoons because, like, the adults make the jokes, and a lot of times the kids don't even understand the jokes. They just like cartoons. We were talking about this before, remember? Shit Bugs Bunny says. Pepe Le Pew, the child molester, or whatever the just a molester. I don't know what he is. He's definitely a predator. Pepe Le Pew. I think Bugs Bunny is gay, isn't he? Yep. There goes another band. Beyond the Pip. We were just talking about the names. You guys are really creative. Beyond the Pip. If the buys already move a lot, will you look for sells off of fresh resistance? Yeah, I don't mind. I was just looking to catch the momentum and the volume we're getting off the 4-hour push. But we can do. I'm open to both buys, sells. Every session that we show up here, there's no all right, only buys. It's very rare. It's only buys or only sells. Very rare. It happens, but it's it's chance. Typically, we can play both. Sometimes we'll have positions in both directions in the same session. But unless we get some bearish closures, higher time frame closures, we're moving up. We should be correcting this move up. Yeah, you might get a pullback, but we should be correcting this move up. I guess. Listen carefully what I said, right? Unless we get a higher time frame bearish closure. You take only buys during the November to December gold rush? No? Remember how many times I even said it on stream, if you go back on the streams, like, damn gang, check this out. We just had sells in this 600 pip bullish candle. We just took 50 pips, 60 pips. And by the time the candle closed, it was, it was 300 pips in the other direction. We just caught 60 pips, we caught 100 pips, caught 40 pips on this 600 pip bullish candle. 400 pip bullish. It's not something you want to do in general, especially as you're learning or as you're building yourself. But over time, experience leads you to act on things that you recognize. Otherwise, how are you optimizing? How are you improving? How are you introducing, improvement to your strategy? You have to apply new concepts or update the way you see things, new perspective, or apply something you already know, but differently. If you're like, all right, that's it, like, you're gonna plateau. And if you're not growing, you're aging. You're either aging or you're growing. Right? You can grow or you can just become old. And I don't mean just age-wise. I mean, like, you'll be out of your prime, past your prime here, right? Just like a professional athlete. So squeeze the shit out of your prime. Keep optimizing, right? Look for that big contract while you're in your prime. You want to deserve those big bucks, right? Juice as much as you can out of your prime because it's for a limited time, right? You're not going to be at your peak forever. Want to get as much out of it as possible. I told you, gang, trading mirrors life. So whatever I'm telling you, you can apply these things to life in general. All right, we'll take questions from the audience here. Get a little Tony Robbins playing. Go. Books 9 Robbins. Santos in the building. So, brother. Big drop. We have not had a strong bullish candle in a while. When you say higher time frame closures, do you 30-minute, 1 hour, or the 4 hour? Higher time frame closures, I mean, the 15 is not going to do it here by itself. Because what do we know, right? Gold's going to create a high. It's going to create a low. It's going to retest the high. So what's going to happen after this bullish push? You typically don't, you can, it's possible you tap a level and you just see a melt. But typically you'll see this create a range, right? It'll create a low, retest the high, which means, you know, you'll get the bearish. Oh, sorry. You get the bearish push. You get something like this. You'll create a range. And you'll do this. For this to happen, for this to play out, look at these candles. If this plays out on the 15, at the very least, if these are 3 15-minute candles or 4 15-minute candles, that's an hour for the market to eventually look like this, right? This is a 1 hour candle. And the reason I say you need a higher time frame closure is because it's easier for you to process than, hey, we're going to need to print a range here, close below, right? That's how, because we're having this heavy push that just broke through multiple ranges up. We've had, it's giving you the range 2 breakout. You're just straight through it. So will this fake back out? It can, but for that to happen, you're going to need a range 2 breakout bearish the other way now, right? Your bias now switches. You were bearish, heavy push up, bullish, range 2 breakout. Now you need another range 2 breakout to come down. What does that do? You're going to have to form another range, which means, and then break below it, which will take, you know, it's going to give you a higher time frame closure. But for me to explain all of that, I'm just understand that I'm just in my head. I think you understand when I say higher time frame closure the other way. Most likely, the first thing I'm usually doing is breaking down the candles backwards. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if somebody tells me that, I'm like, so if an hour closes bearish, that means for 2 30-minute candles or for 4 15-minute candles, we would have had to print in such a way to get that bearish closure, which means it would probably form a range or 2 leg candles or candle with no wick and a heavy drop the other way. Like that's how I might be different than you, but that's just how I processed it. So when I tell you higher time frame closure, I guess I'm expecting you to understand that you're probably going to get a range closure, range printed on the smaller time frames to get you there, right? As a top wick for that higher time frame closure. That top wick's got to be made somehow. It's not in a split second. It's usually on a few, you know, smaller time frames. Am I making sense to you, or are you still lost in the sauce? You look to positioning yourself pre-market and use Asia open volume to push your trades. Is that no? I really just look at price, action, structure, levels. That joint's been lit and smoked and everything. Bearish on every time frame. Everything's closed, bearish. Interesting to look for some sells. But you'd need closures back in range, and with that heavy push, it would need to be a range 2 breakout. Until then, I would really rather get some buys. Benny the Nuka? Yeah, because right now, I'm, you know, I got the air defense systems out. Right now, we're anti-nuking the nukes. What's up, Airbender? Breath work. Gang, would you guys like to do breath work on stream? I wasn't joking. It shouldn't be funny. It's like it would have been funny to me before I actually looked, you know, did some research. PTE, LGBT HDTV. What about Nick? No, I see the black airbender in here, and he does breath work. So just, hey, why not have him do breath work on it? Teach you guys some things. Can you check on the NASDAQ? Everything is funny until you heal faster than you can fill in the blanks. Yeah, when you're everything, it's like a defense mechanism for the lack of knowledge, right? For being an idiot or being dumb or being uneducated or not knowing things on a topic. And you're like, ha, idiot, in your head, right? Not really, not everyone reacts like that. But if you just, there's a reason people do things, and there's a method to everyone's madness for the most part. If not, you're in the loony bin. But if otherwise, there's usually a method to everyone's madness. And there's something to it. Just do some research. Well, there's a reason, like high profile athletes, all like professional athletes, they all do breath work. They all have breathing coaches. Fighters, ballers, brawlers, shot callers, everybody. I used to be ignorant to it too. I legitimately breathe and fall asleep better because of the black airbender over there in the chat. I just be watching some of his videos and I'd be like, man, this fucking thing, this working. Breathing and falling asleep better. I just watched some of his IG videos. It's like, let me try this pussy shit with nobody around. I was like, oh shit. This is for adults. You gotta really like try and do it and give it, you know, be open-minded. That's cool. You're spreading. I like the fact that you're like into it because you're spreading actual like benefits for the people, right? Like over here, me too. Like I'm streaming, I'm trying to bring some value, put people on. But give me your perspective on the NASDAQ. Hold on, let me see what we're doing here. 30 bullish. We might have some buys here, gang. Hold on. I have a buy stop here. Oh, what the fuck is that? 1520. Okay, you see how we held this area, printed lower lows, lower highs? But now the support, it hasn't broken there. We get another bounce and break that high. We should be good to head up here to 4406. Let's see what happens here. Hold on, let's put limit. And sells as partials. 4404 flat. Up to hop on stream and share one of the longest tech sales. That's wild. That is wild. I seen you do it though. Seen your video. All right. Stops will just be the current candle low. I'm sorry, previous 15. So the current, yeah, previous 15. Huh? I think mom did, but you should be able to have some. Cold? Yeah. You made it and left. Yeah, stop should be right here. And want this to push? Close above, held resistance, range 2 breakout, clean range to the left. The expectation is to fill this candle to the left and then make some more decision. Do not expect to break down, but in case we break down, we get a fake out and then we'll look to trade the rest of the range down. That's it. That's it, man. In terms of stops. All right, so here's the deal. It might still bounce off this wick and come up, so I might move the stop just a little bit to this wick. That's a possibility. But I expect us to move up based on that structure and the rebreak of that high. You're in? Yeah, I'm in too. Decent stops. Good break. Held the previous candle. Bouncing off support. Breaking previous resistance. So it's just it's very nice. Looks good. And we should be able to correct some of this range to the left. Had a heavy move there. Okay, give me 1 second. You want me to help you or no? Hold on, gang. Tried. Tried. Really keep the stop at. All right, once we re-break that high, I'll go break even. About 25, 30 pips in profit. That's when it's... Okay, we're getting a closure. 15 closure. Above the range. 30 though. See what happens. Yeah, we might see this bottom wick to here. 88. Start. 97. Closed above. Closed above. So there's a possibility we might get the same trade if the 30 closes here. That's a bullish 1 hour. We're gonna get a bottom wick, and I don't know if I want to hold it past the level where we're at. I'd rather get a re-entry because you might see this break down into here and then look for a re-entry. Want that push now? Give it to me now. I don't want it to happen later. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to hold it past this area. If it decides to come back down in range, then we'll look for another support. But I think it should, there's no reason. If we hold it below here, there's just no reason for it to get back down here unless it's coming back down here. So this is a solid stop. 92.3. Got 70. Quick. 114, right? Let's see, 30, 15, support. 10 minutes here. And that next 1 hour bottom wick could be down here. Want it to go now. I think it's 12 minutes will pump. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. See if we could move down the stop just to get the hourly closure. So that's what I'm looking at to the left here and seeing where it would make sense, because the hourly should still pump. Close bullish. Next hourly bottom wick should bring this up. Don't know how steep this wants to come down. I would expect the next, if it doesn't drive here, the next bottom wick. So where can we get that stop to so that bottom wick drives? Thing is, if we come down and we're back in range and the hourly still closes bullish, that bottom wick could get down to 87. And then I don't want to let this one then ride down all the way to 87, 50 pips. I would rather have it close here and then get a new position fighting off only 70 pips, not fighting off 130. Because the idea of the trade was for this candle to push, not for the one after it. Not right. Break of the high, you have clean candle to the left. Got a range 2 breakout, you've closed above. But if we get down to these areas, then I'd rather look for support at these areas versus giving up an extra 70 pips. In buys too? Where'd you get in? This actually looks solid at 93, right, for a runner type position. There's no support there. There was a resistance, but no support. If I had a support previously, maybe we would have looked at it there. We also opened up with a top wick here, came down, and then we rebroke the top wick. So it was the rebreak of the top wick. Where'd you get in, Daniel?
Hey, wait, Jordan says if you can let him in and Zoom.
Oh. You got in break of previous 15? Yeah, that's where we got in. So you're in the same trade. Hold on. You got in, hold on, 43.92. Oh. That's a good entry, 43.92. Very good entry off that bottom wick. Have faith? What do you mean? I'm trusting the probabilities here. Not about faith. I can stay quiet, but I'm just telling you, I'm showing you the behind the scenes of my thought process. 43.44 on spot. Probably 43.99 on us. What time do you normally start the stream? Usually it's 8 p.m. Eastern. But today I was going to start at 6, kind of got here at 7. Had an early position for sells here. Came down and then hit BE. Right, as we were bouncing off a 4-hour level. And then we got in some buys over here on the break of the previous 30, break of the previous 15. Right, range 2 breakout, closure above the range, volume push. So, kind of how the day went. You had sell Stu got B. Yeah, this is the two positions that we had today. Wanted to push. Will we our push? We haven't seen this wick here, and that's what I'm afraid. We might see this wick right here before that push. Hoping it was this one, right? Especially once we tapped that area, came back up. So this was the mirror we wanted to have. Yeah, 4 minutes for the hourly. It looks like it wants to give it a close. Yeah, it has no reason to push up from here. It's been here already, so it needs that next wick, needs that next area. So I would figure somewhere around here. Not gonna give it a chance to ride there. It would be strange for it to, yeah, there we go, stops it. I'm gonna push back up from this area. I'm gonna be tight. You gotta be kidding me. Everything's still bullish. Yeah, but we rebroke our range lows, so I just can't let it ride up. Can't let it ride down. This is the next level here. These wicks. The support. This is the idea, this candle. Okay. To the books. I think I managed wrong. Wait, for you? So you had the rebreak at the highest here. Where'd you manage wrong? Closed above the range as well. Closed above every level. Closed above here. Attempted 2 times here. Then the third time, and it kept breaking the high. So I think the break of this Oh, get the hell out of here if this thing pumps right now. $30 seconds on the 1 hour. Oh yeah, close below. What the fuck's going on? You guys see this shit pumping? Hmm. I think I managed perfect. Back into 4 hour support. I have a buy stop on the break of this hourly high. It decides to push up. Technically, we should not, right? We have the celery play. We should fill the 4 hour range to where our original sell was here. There's a reason it was at 70. But find support and this decides to slingshot up. I'm going to take those buys. Created a wick into a 4 hour support, broke the previous hourly high. I'm sorry, hourly low. Either going to bounce down heavy or it's going to re-break highs and push. Which means we're moving pretty heavy here. Gonna break at a high. That rebroke the 4 hour low. Tapped 4 hour support. We start heading up, we'll flip the 4 hour bullish. Expectation, yes, for this to continue down after that break. But you've tapped into a 4 hour support. One of those celery plays that can reflip on you the other way. Yeah, I broke that previous 1 hour low, bounced off, retested the 4-hour support. Looking to re-break the high. All right, broke the high. Good luck, gang. May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house. This high too. Perfect reaction, perfect bounce, all within a slingshot. 1 15-minute candle, first 15 of the hourly. Right, if we're expecting the correction and to get to 4407, 4408 areas at the very least here. Benny, you okay? Why did we just tap my level on a dot and come back? Minor level. Let's see what happens. Yeah, close that after you. Thank you. Appreciate it. not good. Stop it. Hold on a sec. Oh, damn, nobody yelled, nothing. We were really close. Yeah. Who stops to break even here? But, damn. Right. Oh, just get me. Tap me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, right on the dot. Wicked us in. Stops to break even here. Oh, shit. 5. Hold on, let me move my live account. Stops to break even. Before we goes against this. Sell stop. There we go. Stops there. To break even. Wow, partial secured on the dot. Literally, we said 4,400, and that's where it tapped. On the dot, 60 pips. Yeah, at this point, we don't really care what else it does. Right? You got your position. And if you notice, oh, tickled. It tickled it. It tickled it. Are we ticklish? Yes, we're ticklish. Tickled it. I came back right in time. W. $60. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I did say that before. I do this a lot. I used to do it a lot, right? The whole wait, I don't know why it's not inverting it right now. I did it yesterday. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing it, but yeah, W. If you guys notice that last L we took, this is we've had 3 positions on stream. I got 4 positions today. So hold on. Adjust everything. That's a W. We're gonna add that to our record. On the dot. Yeah. I mean, I swear no one's doing levels like no one's sniping levels like this. Opening, closing. Although we did get sniped on that. Look, our this isn't usual, right? This break of the high here after that bounce off support here. Let's get rid of these lines right here. Right, we got that bounce into here, then drive. Closed above. This one closed above. Heavy push off the 4-hour level. Bounce into here, and a rebreak of the high. Usually you drive here. So this pullback isn't usual. But we're not going to let it ride down on us. Exactly what I said, right? We're not going to let this ride down on us for 150, 160, 180 pips. And guess what? We would have hit stops no matter where we would have put that stop loss. Right, so let's cut it short because we don't want it to go below here. There's a possibility it bounces off of here and you still get a W. But as we spoke earlier on previous streams, it's not about the win record. You're better off cutting it short, letting it get to that support, right? And when you get a bounce at that area, whenever, if you were to do that, instead of a pineapple, you just have a new entry here. If you were to do that, you'd make your 70 pips back versus having to also fight off that previous here, right? The extra pippage. So you'd be fighting off 150, or you'd be fighting off 70 versus 150 if you let it ride down to here and then get another entry. Number one. Number two, right? Because you're exposing yourself for this shit here. This is nonsense. But in this case, I kind of get it because it pulled us to the steeper 4-hour level here. Right there, right? We first had a bounce here, then here. Guess what? We're probably going to come back down and tap this area as well eventually, right? Deeper steep till we bottom out on this 4-hour. And then we either push up or we continue down. But in this case, cut that short, your uphill battle is not that big. You get your next position and it pays you. And our loss was what, 76 at 20 pips? Notice how I opened that at 25 and closed the entire, closed at 20. So it wasn't like we got partials on these buys. It's basically a full closure as compared to the second position that we had. So win number 706. So it's okay. Maybe you guys can understand this. Okay, I recovered my L by 90%, went the same size, stopped, increased my lot size if I took an L, as that would fuck my psychotic the second time. So it's not because I took an L. It's because the second time it's attempting my position after taking me out, but tapping a higher time. It just gave me more confidence that that was going to work out. Big key here, why this was TP or why this was partials. There's so many reasons here. Let's go to this. If we're going to break the 4-hour high, we're going to move up. We're going to have a run. But if we don't, it's going to reject down. And if we are going to reject down, it would have to not break this 4-hour high, which is the previous 1-hour high as well. Where would we not break it? Let's look left candle closure. Number one. Number two. Make it. This shit right here. Look at the level. 4,400 flat. That closure. 4,400 flat. Does it break the 4-hour? No. So this would give us a W if it decides to reject and go against us. So we don't have to have the wick fill. Understand it, thinking, because if it does the wick fill, it's breaking highs, we're heading up. But there's a chance we don't break the highs and come back down. And in that case, it's got to find a resistance. 4,400, you have that level. We drop down time frames. We're going to have to respect this. But if we're going to come back up, we most likely have to match up to this level. A lot of times we break this level, right? On a smaller time frame, you're just, a lot of you can see just head and shoulders. If on a 1 minute, right, you get your shampoo play, you know, your shoulder area, right shoulder. But you're getting a change of structure when that happens. And if that's going to happen here in this area, we got to have a plan for securing some profits, right? You got to secure the bacon, whatever you were able to get here. No need to let it come back. So all these things, it wasn't, oh shit, it was a psychological low. No, it wasn't like, oh shit, we're just going to close a little bit before the wick. No, it wasn't, oh, you know, we're going to match it up to the, no, there's so many things, if you really go deep into it, that tell you this is the fucking level. Just think outside the box. There's reasons behind the things that happen here. If you can read those, you're gonna have a license to print money. Need to get to your level, bro. To your level psychology. Just experience. Detaching from position, sizing, help. Stop looking at 0.01. Who gives a shit? I don't have money amounts on my screen. I don't see money going up and down. I got that column turned off. I just see a pip count. That's all. And I see levels. I don't base things I do on pip count, right? I see pips going up and down. I don't see the actual money going up and down. And I just go based on levels. It's either because logically, right? If we're doing that, if we're opening based on levels and breaks, how are we closing, like, you know, first of all, how are we expecting the entire range, like we're the gurus that are going to make this, we're gonna guess the entire range, top to bottom. I mean, we're really good at that, but like, nothing can be arbitrary here. Nothing can be questionable. If you're doing something, you better have a reason for it. It can't be, this feels good, that's enough money, that's too much money, this looks, you know, too far, too big, too small, too. No, you gotta have a reason, not a feeling, not a thinking. Just, can you reason it out? Can you voice it out loud, speak it, and have it make sense? Speak what you're doing out loud. Voice it out. It's like proofreading an essay. You'll be surprised at the mistakes you find proofreading your own essay. Drop a like, Wix is dropping knowledge daily. Most of the time, 2 times a day. Thanks for that backhanded compliment. He's like, most of the time, 2 times a day, but this asshole doesn't. Unfortunately, today was 1 time a day. No, wasn't back. I know. I'm just, I gotta troll. I gotta create I gotta be a nuisance to an extent. Menace. Notice during backtesting, gold usually reacts a lot at quarter levels like 4,400, 40.25, 40.50. What are your thoughts on that? I guess there's something to it. You're not the only one that notices it. People play psychological levels all the time. But if it's big enough for you to be asking questions about it, if it's spread out enough, if a concept or an idea is spread out enough for you to know about it and ask questions about it in a public domain, expecting others to know about it, there's something to it. Like, it's got to have worked enough that it became known to an extent. So there's something to it. Right? Maybe it worked for the first person, and then they were really good at applying, knowing where and when that matters, and they try to tell somebody, and then that person couldn't do it, but they heard it from this guy, and then they started teaching people, and now, like, nobody knows how to do it because, like, it was either taught wrong, or people that were learning and it was taught right are misapplying it, but something to it, right? Your FVGs, your VWAPs, your Batman signals, your stochastic, like this, like, right, your fibs, your pullbacks, your trend lines, something to it. It all works, I guess, at to an extent. If you're applying things correctly, I just, I do this and I apply this correctly. It's hard for me to, like, I troll sometimes, but I'll never say none of this shit works. Like, there's something to it. There's a reason it became a thing, reason people know about it. That means for somebody somewhere at some point it worked, and it worked good enough that they had to, like, go out and talk about it, and must have worked for a bunch of people because then it got big, right? But like, I just find all those things still, the root of all those things, the root at the root of everything I just described is still price action. The foundation is still price action. So if you know any of those things, you need price action. Not that you need it, you would be a killer with price action as the foundation of whatever else you're doing. But I'm also a big proponent of, you know, simplifying this, and you don't need any of those things. You know, price action. What oil? It's a rumor. Not sure what you're saying. Did you take any trade? The bear shit in the woods? I think so. I don't know, gang. Bottom wick, and we can look for a break of the high. 2 leg candles. And I usually be following the direction of the second leg candle. Typically, I think if we can break the low here, get a bottom wick, and then re-break highs, this candle to the left, clean range. Wow, we were denied. And this is the sells we had at power hour. Back full TP, and we might get that whole range that we just had on or we might not. If this runs right now, we're just not gonna get it. It's clean. It's clean. This is the move we were looking for as we opened up the session on the buys there. Or an hour ago. It all makes sense. Perfect sense. We just want to, since we don't want to be at a disadvantage here, knowing that 90% of these candles, right, have wicks both directions. So now there was a chance that comes back down. We don't want to take the entry above here, expecting that bottom wick, and then knowing that, hey, damn it, why am I in here? And drawdown, knowing that it needed that bottom wick. And then, but sometimes it'll do this. But it's dope. We read that perfectly the entire stream. Maybe it still comes back here, yeah, like candle, but you need a resistance we can play off of. So 4 hour. So it would be a really steep stop here. Oh, no, not really. It would be, yeah, it would be a 90 pip stop. There's a chance this pushes up the rest of the session. F this bottom wick. We'll see. Do I think so? I don't think we push up all the way. It's possible, but I don't think we do that because it's not a one candle show like this. Although you can make the argument that this 4 hour was one candle, heavy candle right off that level. But typically it's not one candle that brings you up, right? It's still, this candle brought you up above the range, but you see multiple 4 hour candles. This one support somewhere down here, so but it's cool. Look, you look left and you have precedent for no bottom wicks, just heavy push right off your level. Boom, tapped, heavy put, the heaviest candle off this level down here historically right there. Guess what? Our W came in this candle, the high volume candle. What did I say earlier? Your job is to predict with high degree of probability the high volume candle. You won't always be right, but if you're able to reason it out and it made sense, then What else to say that you were wrong about the position? You know, look back at it, see how it could have been done better. Look at the probabilities. Maybe that's just the probability that doesn't work out, and you got to take this every time. Just spoke about this clean candle to the left. This price should move up just clean through here. That was the position we were looking at here. Right. So we were right with the idea. Unfortunately, it just wasn't time yet. Cut it short, got our W here, and now it's playing out. We wanted a bottom wick here, we would have been in here. You guys understand the logic behind everything we're doing. There's a method to our madness. And it makes sense, usually makes dollars. Down the road. I do not have a sell limit here because I just don't have any more recent levels than this down here of price topping out, right? Because the recent times we've just driven through it down. But I like 4-hour level, retesting our previous range. Yeah, this entire move was entire correction to the T. Technical makes sense, my friend. What oil? It's a rumor. Lele. Yes, no matter my friend. If we are able to hold support here right now, this is gonna move heavy. This we're gonna correct all of this. If it's this shit right here, I've spoken about this before. This right here will be clean ass candle up here. It's gonna be this through this area. It might take a few hours. You might see this hourly push up. I mean, take a few hours to actually get up to the top of the range, but you might see this hourly push straight through here. This is fucking. Whole range. One candle. Reason I'm not banking on it. We're coming up on a 4-hour close, and I think the next, if it doesn't push through, the pullback will be heavy. We might see the next 4-hour all the way down here at 95, 200 pips down before the move up. I'm just not sure if it doesn't on this candle or the next, but it's highly likely because I've just seen this before. And if it fills it now, good level here to play for a stops would have to be up there. Fuck. What's this? What is this? 24 pip stop. We could try to snipe this at 4422.4. Let's talk about this. 50, 29. We can keep this at like 29 pips. Try to snipe this. That would be interesting because that would be a 160 pip snipe. Let's get rid of all this shit in the way. Close to passing the combine? Yeah. Four-hour distances to the left, yeah. So I would imagine 18 minutes from now, the 4-hour closes, right? Let's look at the resistance. There's 4-hour levels here to the left. I would imagine these wicks right here to the left, that's what the next 4 hours is going to give us. on the smaller time frame to fill this range. So we would look like this on the next 4 hour eventually. Either we either flip bearish. If we close somewhere around here, next 4 hour fills that top wick, we are highly likely to do this off the next 4 hour. If we're able to fill this range, that's a reason not for us to reject down. This is a range now for us to refill as we bounce down. Once we are able to fill it, we're in a new range. We're not in here anymore. You're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. We are not in there. If this range gets filled now, we are at the bottom of this range. This is not a resistance. This is a reason for us to pull back on the next 4 hour, right? If the 4 hour closure is up here, sorry. If the 4 hour closure is up there, we would be closing to the left above these 4 hour levels. So we should be heading up. What happens? We're heading back down. This area becomes support for us. If this is the range we're in and not this range, you tell me, right? If we're in here, is this support or resistance? If we were in here, in this area, yeah, this would be a resistance though. But we're here now. 4 hour has pushed through, closed on the higher time frame, above the range. This is more of a support than this is a resistance. This is a minor level on a way up. Can you reason it? Reason it out? Make it make sense? It makes sense. Your job is to get some entries here. Maybe it'll be a bullish closure on a 1 hour down there. But guess what? If it's the next 4 hour, that bullish closure on the 1 hour is still your 4 hour bottom wick forming here, right? Here it's a pancake, your entry here on the bottom wick. If it's a bullish closure, break of the highs, onion, whatever, celery, it's still a 4 hour bottom wick that eventually does this through here, through that area, right through there. Right? To 4 hour, your smaller time frames will just whoops, sorry, do this. All right, you're getting that closure right there on the 1 hour, and the last hour of the 4 hour, getting 4 hour push, bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick, push. That's how your 4 hours should be formed, through this area right here. Obviously, there's possibility of the 4 hour fake out. It would have to close below here. So as you start getting to this area, I always say you're going to need the smaller time frames to help you out. So as you're in the 4 hour heading down here with a bottom wick, you already have a steep top wick on the 4 hour. Did you make the top wick first here? Okay, you're going to need some help as you're coming down here to establish this as a support. You're going to need smaller time frames to start telling the same story. Top down analysis. Like I said, bullish closure, maybe a no wick closure into here, no bottom wick on a candle, maybe a lit candle into here. That starts falling in line with the 4 hour, with the 1 hour, right? And you could start telling, you know, the narrative just becomes the same. They look different on different time frames, but the narrative becomes the same. Bish?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Let's see what this does on the higher time frame. For now, it's not getting through there. And this might all be irrelevant if we don't break through, right? If we don't close above. The idea is for the 4 hour to break the 4 hour highs. I'm sorry, close above the 4 hour highs to the left here. Right here. Strong levels. 4408. Right? If it doesn't, if it closes where it is, that ride up is most likely the top wick on a 4 hour to bring you back down to support to make another decision because you just held resistance. Why would you hold resistance? Right? If you're not going to go down, you close that resistance to go up. That doesn't make sense until you get that closure above. Jabaranda, 30-minute OB. I'm guessing that's an order block. I'm not sure what that is. Just the level, right? Just a strong level. You sound like such a show. Oh yeah. All right, we got 12 minutes, gang. Hang out. We're gonna run it. Well, to at least I want to see what the first 15 minutes of the new 4 hour will look like. I mean, if there's potential, if there's opportunity, you know me, markets are open, we're fucking trading. But right now, I gotta wait for this 4 hour to plus. Did you win on that trade? Time for a flex. The names are top notch. All right. Give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna go get that crypto crown. I kind of like in my system. I'll be back in like 3-4 minutes. But we are gonna watch the 4 hour closure, and we are gonna look for possible positions. If not, we will break down what to expect over the next few hours and what to look for if there's even a point of looking at anything. But I just showed you what you want from the next 4 hour based on closures. And if you're staying here, just rewind the last 10 minutes of the stream and rewatch it for now. Really let it sink in. Give me a minute. What sells on 15 minutes since the 30 has no bottom wick? Well, okay, look. Let's say the 15 closes favorable. If you mean right now, no, there's no sells. Everything's bullish. But let's say the 15 closes favorable, right below the range. That means the 4-hour holds. So I would give it the chance to come down and come up. And if at that point it wants to re-break lows, then I would look for a sell, which means range to be created. C5's creating a range. Remember I was talking about, I don't know if you were here earlier on in the stream. The entire stream today has been just listen to it at like 2 times speed or it's times and a half. It's just, there's certain, from early on, like we got on 4 hours ago. No, 4 hours ago. We discussed a lot of this, but you're going to need to create a range, right? That's why I said you're going to need not a 15 closing the other way. You can attempt this little, you know, whatever there is, 20, 30, 40, I don't know, on the 15, but you're going to want to create, see the range being created right now on the 5. You're going to want to create this on the 15, on the 30. That'll eventually lead to the higher time frame closing in your direction, right? If this is the next 4 15-minute candles, this is a bearish 1-hour closure. If that's the next 4 15-minute candles, it's a bearish 1-hour closure, respecting resistance. Now you have a 1-hour bearish onion versus taking the break of that 15 and coming back up in range, knowing that every other time frame is bullish, and all you're doing, taking a break, break of the lows on the 15, is taking a bottom wick on a bullish 4-hour, bullish 1-hour. You're taking a bottom wick entry, right? You're selling on a bottom wick of a bullish 1-hour. It's just, it's a, like, you might get yours, but is the probability there for the trade to run volume wise in your direction? No. Right? So when in doubt, zoom out. And if we look 4-hour, going to close right now, that's a heavy 4-hour bullish closure. The fact that it's at resistance, it makes you should let you know that you have room on the smaller time frame to play the sells at resistance here, at a higher time frame resistance. But they have to set up on the smaller time frame now. And if you're bullish, how do you take sells? Range 2 breakout. You're going to need this range to form, right, to get those sells in range 2. Link not working. It's not up. I don't know where my guy disappeared. I'm sorry. I've been delaying this for like half a year. Yeah, I'm an asshole in that sense. Like, it's my fault that it's not up, but it's not my fault to an extent. So yeah, you right, market doesn't turn around here on one candle. Yeah, you might have had the hourly close, right, and start turning around on one candle, or even then the hourly retested. You might have the 4-hour, right? But then again, if you're looking at the 4-hour turning around from this area on one candle, then you have to look at it on a 4-hour scale, where it's in a 4-hour range, right? It's bounced off that support. That's not, it's retested the lows here. It's not just turning around on one candle. So you have to understand where you are, when you are, and what the market looks like on the higher time frames and on the smaller time frames in relation to the higher time. Like, you could see it on the small time frame, you can see it on the higher time frame. Like, how do they relate to each other? Where's joint support? 1-800 got clapped. All right, the 4 hours closing here. We're gonna get a no wick closure. That sucks. That freaking sucks. That's ugly. What does this mean? Well, it means that we're going to get a top wick here. Maybe to the moon. And then we should come back down and retest the lows. Remember what I said? If we don't push through here, so there's a top wick here. I'm sorry. There's a top wick here, but let's look at remember I said, if you're looking at the 4 hour, you got to look at it on the 4 hour scale. And if we look at the 4 hour, that's almost no wick relative to the 4 hour. On the higher time frame, that's not range. On the smaller time frame, you could say to yourself, well, we need a top wick here. Oh, wow, 15 leg candle as well. So now you'd expect a 15 level tap, right here, 44.12, and the top wick to bring you back down. But that's a 4 hour closure. So maybe this leg candle actually blasts up, gives you an actual real 4 hour top wick, and then back down. And if we look to what we were talking about before, if the 4 hour doesn't push through here, but it sticks around here, remember what I drew up before? Go back. Where was it? Before all this, before this. If the 4 hour doesn't push through right here, oh no, I'm way off. Sorry. Right here. Oh, okay. It was that red candle, the top wick, the red candle top wick, right there. So if the 4 hour doesn't push through, and if we look at it, it doesn't really have a top wick, right? The closure here on the 4 hour is this, right? Somewhere here with a small top wick. Damn, this is really, let me get rid of this. So this is the 4 hour. Didn't push through. Your expectation now is this top wick, top of the range that we have on the smaller time frame. Right there, that top of the range. Let me even this out. And then a drive back down. Especially now that we have a leg, oh, it's not a leg candle, I'm sorry, no top wick on the 4 hour. Let's see this, hold on. Buys, in terms of buys. Yeah. Oh, look at this. We just spoke about this. Leg candle, top wick first. You're looking to come down and fill the leg candle. In terms of buys, you can get them here. There's a lot of room to fill for that 4 hour top wick. And hey, it might be a bottom wick, and then 4 hour just drives up and creates new range above this 4 hour. That could happen. You did close above the 4 hour levels to the left. So if that's the case, if this is where you're at now, where the buys are arbitrary because there's not much range, you don't have a top wick yet on the higher time frame on the 4 hour to come back in range for sells. First thing you want is to see this push up. How are you going to see this push up? Smaller time frame, clean range. We have the next level here. Boom. You're going to form some kind of resistance. I would not trade this area here just yet. I would let the market decide what it wants to do in this area. Either come up 15 and come back down, fake out, so you could get some sells back down, and 4 hour wick will be made at this level. Or do you want, you're going to see this come down here, give you some kind of support, come up, or create new structure. Right, so you're going to end up printing completely new. Remember what I said, range 2 breakout for sell. So if you're able to get this support, right, you're creating structure now. You have resistance, you have support, you filled the range up here. You just need some closures below that range. Maybe a celery play where it could run for you, or a closure below the range. Let's say you make a bottom wick first, come up, still close, come back down, still close bearish. Now you have a closure below below the range, and you're looking for this. And this will be understanding you're not really looking for runners. You're really looking to secure supports, possible support areas, and take risk off the table, knowing that the 4 hour is heavily bullish and it could reverse going the other way. But you have the advantage of the smaller time frame falling in line with the fact that the higher time frame needs a bottom wick here, and you already made a top wick here, right? Because at this point you'll be coming down. Well, if you're waiting on that 4 hour top wick, I suggest you do, you'll be coming down off of here. How do I take the late candle buys or sells? Okay, so then see, now you're pushing up here, 4 hour. So you had your top wick, you had the late candle fill, gave you 60 pips. Now you're moving back up with the higher time frame. Like I said, you want this higher time frame top wick. If you're going to look for sells, you're going to wait for it to break down. Do you need to wait for sells? No, it might take a long time to set up. Buys might be next in line. Like I said, you want to clear this range out and then take this clean range to the left. Right now, you entered a bit of a chop. When you enter a chop, you want price to just clear it, so all the orders that were in the chop are eaten up, and then you can trade through the clean range. Or a lot of times it's just a wick fill, right? You get a wick on the higher time frame, smaller time frame, move up, move down. But how would I have played the late candle? So if let's say we push up here, let's say this candle pushes up here. That's a late candle. Let's say the 30 does this, right? Which means, let's say this is the 30, does that. Late candle in its own way, in its own right. The 15, just from the way it looks and what we'd see and how it would need to play out, the 15 would most likely do this or close below the range, right? Do this. Then you get a drive here. Get rid of 15. So if this is the 15, the 30 looks like this. 30 is a late candle. Typically, if you're going to get a 30 late candle, that on the next 30, you're also going to get a 15 one way and the next 15 the other way. So, or you're going to get it set up. So what happens is, let me show you. The next 15 typically will do this. You're going to get that push. That's your setup. Off resistance, late candle into that resistance. Now your 30 starts looking like this. And it doesn't matter, like sometimes like the 30 is not there yet, right? This could be a 30, this could be a 15 and a 30 candle where the closure here is at 45. So you don't have a 30 print exactly like this. But the understanding that you're getting a late candle into a resistance on the smaller time frame, and you're expecting the higher time frame level there to reject. You have a higher time frame resistance and a late candle into it. Next candle, if it opens up with a top wick, you're highly likely to fill the late candle. So I take this trade like this. I look to the left where the wicks are. In this case, the wicks are tiny, right? So, but stops go above the wicks and previous resistance we've had to the left. Above the wicks, entry goes at the body, and as long as we open up with that top wick first, Partials go at the leg candle, typically the leg candle body here of the previous candle. In this case, it's about 35 pips. But if this happens off a higher time frame level, I'll wait. I'll let it fill the entire leg candle. Look to the left, see if there's support in the middle of this wick. Same logic as we just had on the 4 hour, right? Where we got TP. If we're not going to break the 4 hour, but we are going to, you know, but if we're not going to break the 4 hour highs, but we're in buys, where can we reject to still keep bearish structure, but we can secure profits if it moves against us? So the same thing in here. Where can we secure profits as it's coming down within this leg candle, as price is coming down here? And I look to the left, see if there's any closures at those areas. There is within the wicks here, so I would probably look for some kind of closure right there within that leg candle for partials. Entry would be 44.15, partials right there at 44.09.6, 44.10 if you like round numbers. And that would, let's say we're wrong and price needs to move up, that would be the level that would hold structure with the leg candle and continue the move up. And that would be a level where the bounce would come off support, where you're expecting possible move up. Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Look. Leg candle. You gotta top wick first on this candle. You came down. If you're gonna be wrong about this, you want to secure profits here. Look to the left. Let's see if bro. Look, the very first time you go back, there's a fucking level right there. I just described this concept up here. You're gonna remember this. You know why? Because you see this at play in real time. That's why the live streams are great. It's not structured, but you see the concepts in play in real time. I don't fucking plan this. I don't look before stream and I'm like, yo, let's discuss. I don't know your fucking questions. I'm just giving you a concept and I'm banking on the fact that it works. But let's look to the left. If you were gonna take a sell off this top wick into this leg candle and you were gonna be wrong, as it's filling the leg candle, right? Not you're gonna be wrong, but it's gonna hold structure. If you're not wrong here in your position, you knew what was gonna happen. Like you've actually played the position to the T. But this is the same reason we took profits at our level. Because you look left, you see where it keeps structure but has a level. Look at this. We would have closed if we had top wick sells, that would have been the closure right there before breaking this structure. There's no level here otherwise. There's just, for us it's clean range, but the rejection in order to keep structure came from the level to the left and was like, just describe this. Makes sense. It has to make sense because I drew it out and we see it in action here to the left. I was just drawing it out based on the level up here. Oof. I get excited talking about this. Any other questions? Like, I think I'm gonna call it a session if no one has any more questions. Please drop a like, sub to the channel. Very valuable stream. A lot of information shared that most people just don't go into it because people just like, sometimes don't gatekeep on purpose. It is what it is. They know, they don't like discussing things. I just enjoy talking about it. If I was muted for the last 30 minutes, I'm never streaming again. Mic check. God forbid my ass was. Oh, all right.
I would have told
Yeah,
you.
no, you're good. Yeah.
If I did that shit talking to myself. Man. 43.52 long done. All right. We might see. I don't know. We might see, but that's it. That was the gist of it. That's what we want to see, what we're expecting to see, and how to tell it. just rewind, take notes, take screenshots, post them in front of you so you don't have to go through the stream or through the videos. Just post the screenshots in front of you, print them out, and then just watch the charts. The best thing, get those printouts and write notes on them, like what matters to you, what you want to see as, you know, and then you have it in front of you. Bragdocious music. Been good, keeping me up. Thank you. Good. I'm glad. Gang, please drop a like, sub to the channel. I'm plaque chasing. I really want to get a plaque. I really want to impress my kids, honestly. Just buy a fake one. Yeah, so we plaque chasing, grinding on YouTube, and with your and God's help, we can get there. So God bless all of you. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I'm going to call it a session here as we're riding up and keeping up with structure. Yeah, if there's any more positions, I'll call it in the signal channel. I'll call it with the private community and the bundle members. Great day today. Gonna end the day at 150 pips. Minus 16, I'm sorry, 152 pips. Right? Yeah, this sell was at power hour today. Yeah, that's my time, gang. Let's call it a session. Zoom gang, I'll see you guys in the clubhouse side of things.
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
Hell yeah. Today's what, Tuesday? Yeah, nice. Do we have any news tomorrow? Hold on, let's check that out. Always Trump. Everywhere, any news you turn on, there's Trump's face like this. I have paused the 50% tariffs against Canada that were scheduled to kick in tomorrow. This was 1 minute ago. We're gonna move. Fucking thing's gonna fly right now. Down, fly down. Thing's gonna move. That dropped a minute ago. He tweeted a minute ago. Look at that, red folder. Gang, stay out the markets right now. Long ago killed by Sleepy Joe, maybe. Wow, we just randomly looked at this. That's 1 minute ago. Up we go. Stay out the markets right now. I don't know. I don't know what kind of, it's not about what he says, it's the sentiment. Wow. I'm finishing up right now, kid. We're going to bed. You can have the iPad for about 10 minutes. Wait, when did you get it? Hold on, when did you get it? When did you get it? When did you get it? Okay, so yeah, you had it for 2 hours. She's right. No, once I'm done here. Once I'm done here before bed. Trump tweeting in Asia too. He's always tweeting. That's his thing. He's like, hey baby. Melania, you want a foreplay? We're gonna foreplay tonight. I'm gonna tickle the Tweety bird. We're gonna tickle the Tweety bird. And you have to take every piece of clothing off that's made in China. Starts taking off the fucking tie. I can't get into this. I'm gonna be on stream for another hour. Personating Trump. Let's call it a session, gang. What do we play on the outro? Let's do something nice. Let's get I like Nirvana. We're gonna go with Teen Spirit. We're gonna go with Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. All right, gang. That's it. Zoom gang, see you guys on the clubhouse side of things. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. Day in, day out, as always. Appreciate you guys. Guys ride with me through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Chat, love and wisdom to you all. Go rewatch the stream, clip it up for yourself, and take notes. Read between the lines, what I'd say. All right, my time here is up. I gotta go, and just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Oh, New York session tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm gonna see you guys at 9 a.m. NY. Later! Oh, please, go get your Top on Futures accounts. Use code WIX to get 55% off. It's still running, but there's not a lot of time left. I think it's only a few more days. So go get your 55% off. Code WIX, Top on Futures. Later!